Hi Aquarius, my name is Linda. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to your reading for May. I've pre-shuffled my decks, and what I have here for you is a spread that is very meta. We're going to take a look at where you are now, Five of Pentacles. This is the challenge you face, Six of Cups reversed. The resources you can use is the Three of Pentacles reversed. The hidden forces, Six of Pentacles. The potential outcome is the Four of Crystals. And from the runes, I'm going to pull one here that will describe what is the spiritual lesson. We have Gibo. Okay, there's a lot of pentacles in your reading. We have the 5, the 3, and the 6. And then 6 of Cups reversed and 4 of Crystals. Okay, so what I'm feeling in this energy is that you might be dealing with rejection. Some of you could be dealing with a rejection. And that rejection is feeling a little painful and maybe making you feel left out. It could be affecting your self-esteem. It could be making you feel lonely. It could be making you feel unwanted, unappreciated, unaccepted. The overall feeling I'm getting from this spread and from specifically from the bottom line here is that there is a lot of value in the situation that you're experiencing, even though it's really challenging for you. This top line here doesn't look like a lot of fun at all. There is a lot of value in what you're experiencing. And what I'm seeing here with this bottom line is that you're being taught a little bit more about your own connection to yourself. That's what this rune is giving. We'll get into that more deeply in a minute. But there's also here, with the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, it's like there's a lot of healing energy available here, and some of what the lesson is that you're receiving has to do with reciprocity. It has to do with the energy of giving and receiving. It has to do with finding balance and equality in that part of your life. It has to do with self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is a very big part of the energy that I'm feeling in this reading. And like the growth that you're receiving right now, or the growth that's potential for you right now, is pretty big. And it's coming through as a result of this painful experience of rejection. So it's notable that there's no major arcanas in this reading, but that doesn't mean that this isn't a big energy. It doesn't mean that it's not a deep lesson, or that it's not a strong experience that you're having. The rune here, and I'm going to jump to the end here and go to this rune. So this rune, as you can see, doesn't have a reversal. It's the same in both directions. So in that expression of the runes, which are the same in both directions, there could still be some kind of way of reading it in different contexts depending on the energy of the rest of the spread that's here. But what I would say in this context is that you're learning about, first of all, like I said, self-acceptance. You're also learning about contracts, and when I say contracts, I mean any kind of agreements that are made, and contracts can mean, of course, legal matters where there is actual parties involved that have legally undergone certain agreements that they've signed off on, that is legally binding. And there could be some of that in this reading, because you do have like very mundane energies with all the Pentacles cards in this spread. And there is also in the Six of Pentacles, it also has a connection to the Justice card in the Major Arcana. You can see here in this card there's the scales here representing balance and fairness and justice, liberty. All of those kinds of messages are embedded in the Six of Pentacles as well. But in regards to this energy, I feel like there's a lesson here around personal contracts, partnerships, and relationships that have to do with, fairness, equality, reciprocity, balance. What may be coming up here is that you are experiencing this Five of Pentacles energy of rejection and being left out or feeling lonely as a result of a connection that felt very profound and very aligned at one point, but now the cups are turned over, and there's like I feel like a break there's a break in that connection, or there's a undoing or a reversal of a deep connection as a result of some kind of imbalance or lack of reciprocity. Now, the irony is here that you might be the one who's actually who has been overly giving or has been overly generous in the connection, and this might feel really off to you, that you're being pushed out or that you're being rejected because you have been so generous. But that's kind of the paradox of life here, is that sometimes when you overgive, it can kind of mask a kind of insecurity that eventually will rear its head in an interaction or in a dynamic with someone. And that is what could cause this lack of harmony here with the Six of Cups in reverse. Because sometimes overgiving and not feeling like you have a clear sense of self, or you don't have a clear boundary, or you don't have self-acceptance, may make you be overgenerous or overly giving or overly extending yourself as a way of trying to maybe hook someone's energy into yours to make you more desirable, or to make you more needed or more wanted. But sometimes there's a kind of a tainted energy in that comes through, in a sense. It might be hiding a sense of codependency or loneliness or neediness, or the desire to bind somebody to you through obligation because you've been overly kind and generous to them. That can sometimes create a sensation of feeling obliged to someone, and that can be somewhat uncomfortable, and that could be why there is this pushing away energy from another person to you. I'm feeling this energy very clearly. I just hope that my choice of words is resonating with you, or is hitting the point here, so that you understand what I'm saying here without feeling attacked. That's not my intention. Now, let's take a look at the Three of Pentacles in this reading. The Three of Pentacles in the reverse in this spread is talking about the resources that you have available to you. Now, again, I'm gonna read this energy in context to the rest of the spread here, because the Three of Pentacles in the upright is a card about collaboration, about working together. It's teamwork. It's a higher mind energy. It's a hive energy as well. The three characters in this card are representing the designer, the builder, and the architect. And you see how those three energies of people with different skills coming together for a higher purpose can create something very grand and very bigger than the three of those people individually could. But in the reverse position, I feel like the energy here of this card in the context of the reading is talking about you learning to be a little bit more independent. Because the energy of the rest of the reading does have this feeling of dependency in it. That's what I pick up on with the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Cups reverse, and the Six of Pentacles. There's this energy of codependency that's a little unhealthy. And so while in your mind, you're probably thinking about how to work together with people, how to do collaborations, how to be part of a community, how to be more involved. But how it's showing up here in this energy is making me feel that there could be some work to do for you in the area of being a little bit more independent, learning how to work alone, learning how to be more confident and competent and capable in your own energy, and learning to cultivate your own gifts, and getting a sense of being self-contained, in your own energy, in your own space, as a way of getting free of some of this kind of energy that I feel has maybe been a bit of a repeating pattern for some of you watching. Because if you don't address this kind of energy can take a toll on all of your relationships and can make you feel a little deprived or a little lacking in connection. But your connection to yourself needs to be a little bit more shored up. That's what I feel in this energy. Now, we haven't looked at this card yet. In this reading, the Four of Swords, the Voyager deck uses the energy of crystals to describe the air element. So Four of Crystals here is the Four of Swords from other decks. And in this deck, the card is named Logic. So it's slightly different energy from the Four of Swords from the Rider-Waite deck or from other more traditional decks. But what I'm feeling in this energy, this card is in the position of the potential outcome. So how I'm reading this is that the work that there is here for you to do is to understand, use the experience as a way of learning a little bit more from an intellectual standpoint of what may be a kind of glitch in your relationships with people. If you're seeing this reading and you're understanding what I'm saying, and you might be relating some of what you're experiencing now to other relationships that you've had in the past that might have ended in a similar way, or there may be something familiar about the energy that's being expressed now, as you can connect it to other relationships or other dynamics with people in experiences of the past, then it's saying here to use your intellectual mind, use logic, use reason, use it as some analytical energy to equate what you're experiencing now to other moments so that you can see the pattern. It's about being able to see and define the pattern so that you can start to deconstruct that pattern in order to overcome some of this energy that you're feeling now and the way that it may have been somewhat limiting for you in some of your emotional experiences. It's about getting in a better state of balance with the self. Because this rune actually, it's kind of connected a bit to the Lovers card from the Major Arcana of the Tarot. That's how I see it. Because it is about masculine and feminine energies coming into balance. It is also about partnerships and relationships and contracts and those kind of dynamics where there is that exchange of energy. And we see that both here again in the Six of Cups and the Six of Coins, which again, the number 6 in the minor cards connect back to the Lovers, which is number 6 from the Major Arcana. So there's a bit of repeating energy here that's reiterating and affirming the message that I'm expressing here, is that finding a greater balance within yourself, finding greater self-acceptance and greater connection and union within yourself, and putting more focus and attention on that in ways that help you become more independent, become more competent in your own way, and maybe less dependent on others, is what's on offer here as far as the lesson that's available for you, the potential learning that you can garner from the challenging experience that you're in at the moment. One other thing I would say here is that for me, sometimes when I read reversals, what I'm getting is, or what I pick up on is that there is a connection to having to go back to the previous card in that suit to master that lesson before you can move forward. So the Six of Cups here in reverse is connecting into the Five of Cups upright. So 2 5s, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Both of those energies are talking about loss and disappointment and rejection and insecurity and lack of confidence. All of those kinds of energies. And again, all of that information for me connects back to a sense of self-worth and self-love and self-acceptance that is something that we all need to constantly tend to and nurture and work on. And I feel like that's kind of the main message of this reading here. It's like, in particular, specifically for you as it relates to the cards that are on the table now, it's about looking at the places where, or the moments where, the times where you are overly generous or overly giving or overly sacrificing in order to maybe win somebody's affection or love or attention. And this energy is reminding you that that's an unhealthy pattern that needs to be looked at in order to break an old cycle, so that you can break through a kind of a tendency that you have within you that has been affecting the quality of your relationships. So it's about coming back to the quality of the relationship with the self and focusing more on what you need to do for your growth, for your development, for your career, for your finances, for your home life, for your, you know what I mean, for your mental health, all these things. It's saying here to focus back in on you and what you need, and focus less on what you want to give to other people in order to get their love and affection, in order to feel like there is a sort of happiness and wholeness and balance there. I hope this is making sense. It's not to say that in life we don't want to be kind and generous to people. We do, but we need to learn balance. We need to learn boundaries. We need to learn the difference between when we're doing something for someone else in order to get something back from them, even if it's just their attention, and the difference between what that feels like versus being generous and kind without any personal agenda of what we're going to get back in exchange for that. Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. That's your reading for May. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading.